Hi everyone, welcome to English Anytime. Today we'll talk about how to improve your English at home, a comprehensive guide. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Learning English is one of the most valuable skills you can acquire in today's global society. English opens the door to countless opportunities, whether for academic success, professional advancement, or personal enrichment. With over 1.5 billion people speaking English worldwide, improving your English can help you connect with diverse cultures, access a vast amount of information, and enhance your career prospects. Although many people believe that mastering a language requires formal classes and expensive courses, the truth is that you can significantly improve your English skills from the comfort of your own home. This guide is designed for anyone who wants to make steady progress in English using everyday communication and simple words. Whether you are just beginning your journey or you have some background in the language, the strategies presented here are flexible enough to suit all levels. We will explore techniques that focus on the 4 key language skills: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. In addition, we will outline how to establish a daily routine with precise time markers to ensure that your study sessions become a consistent part of your life. In the following sections, you will find advice on setting clear goals, creating a distraction-free study environment, using online resources, and integrating English practice into your daily activities. You will also learn how to track your progress, overcome common challenges, and stay motivated even on difficult days. Remember, every little effort you put into learning English counts, and with time, those small steps add up to impressive improvements. Let's begin by understanding your personal goals for learning English and how these objectives can shape your study plan. Understanding your goals before you dive into your English study routine, it is essential to identify your personal goals. Ask yourself, why do I want to learn English? Perhaps you wish to improve your career prospects, travel with ease, or simply enjoy English books and movies without the barrier of translation. Clearly defining your goals will give you a sense of direction and purpose. Start by writing down your objectives. For instance, you might set a goal to learn 20 new vocabulary words each week or to hold a 5-minute conversation in English with a friend by the end of the month. Use the SMART goal approach. Make sure your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, instead of saying, "I want to be better at English," try, "I will learn and use 20 new English words every week for the next 3 months." This specificity makes it easier to track progress and adjust your strategy as needed. Take a few minutes each day, perhaps at 6:50 a.m., to review your goals and remind yourself why this journey matters to you. By setting aside time for reflection, you reinforce your commitment and keep your motivation high. Over time, these daily affirmations become a positive habit that bolsters your self-confidence and determination. Setting up your study environment a productive learning environment is essential when you plan to study at home. Start by choosing a quiet area free from distractions. This could be a spare room, a corner in your living room, or even a small desk by a window where you feel comfortable. Make sure your chosen spot has adequate lighting, a comfortable chair, and a clean, organized workspace. A tidy environment helps your mind focus and signals that it is time to study. Gather the resources you will need: a reliable dictionary, notebooks or digital tools for writing, and a computer or tablet with internet access. If you have any physical English learning materials, such as grammar books, novels, or magazines, keep them organized and accessible. This will help you quickly find the tools you need during your study sessions. Creating a structured schedule is another important step. A daily routine with specific time markers ensures that your learning becomes habitual. For example, you might decide to begin your day at 7 a.m. with a vocabulary review session. At exactly 7 a.m., sit down with your flashcards or word list and review the terms you learned the day before. Then, at 7:30 a.m., move on to a short grammar exercise. Consistent time markers, such as 7 a.m. for vocabulary and 7:30 a.m. for grammar practice, create a rhythm that your mind will soon associate with study time. This consistency not only builds discipline, but also makes the learning process smoother over time. Daily English practice techniques. Improving your English involves developing skills in reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Here are several techniques you can incorporate into your daily routine, each with specific time markers to guide you through the day. Reading. Reading is one of the most effective ways to expand your vocabulary and understand sentence structure. Begin your day with reading at around 9 a.m. Choose simple articles, short stories, or even children's books if you are a beginner. As your skills improve, gradually challenge yourself with more complex texts like novels or academic papers. Spend about 45 minutes each morning reading and jotting down new words or expressions. For instance, at 9 a.m., read a news article from an English newspaper and underline any unfamiliar terms. Later, use a dictionary to find their meanings and try to create sentences with them. Writing. Writing is a powerful tool for reinforcing what you learn. Set aside time every day, say, at 12 p.m., for writing practice. Begin with a simple daily journal where you describe your experiences, thoughts, or plans in English. If you're more advanced, try writing essays or short stories. Keep your writing clear and straightforward. For example, on Monday at 12 p.m., write about your plans for the day and include at least 5 new vocabulary words you encounter during your morning reading. Over time, you will notice that your writing becomes more fluid and expressive. Listening. Listening practice is crucial for understanding spoken English and improving your accent. At 3 p.m., listen to an English podcast, a short story, or a radio segment. Focus on pronunciation, intonation, and common phrases. If possible, choose audio materials that interest you, such as discussions about technology, culture, or even music reviews. Listening to authentic English content helps you get accustomed to different accents and speeds of speech. For instance, during your afternoon break at 3 p.m., you might listen to a 20-minute podcast on a topic that fascinates you. Make sure to note any expressions that sound unusual or new to you. Speaking. Speaking is often the most challenging skill to practice, yet it is essential for gaining fluency. Even if you do not have a conversation partner at home, you can still practice speaking aloud. At 4 p.m., try reading a passage from a book or an article aloud. Record your voice and listen back to catch any pronunciation mistakes. You might also talk to yourself about your day or describe an object in detail using simple language. If you have the opportunity, join an online language exchange or conversation group. For example, schedule a 30-minute conversation session every Tuesday at 6 p.m. with a friend or a fellow learner online. This regular practice will help you build confidence and reduce the fear of making mistakes. Using online resources, the internet is a treasure trove of free resources for learning English. Numerous websites, apps, and online communities cater to learners at every level. Here are some ways to incorporate online resources into your daily routine. 1. Language learning apps. Apps like Duolingo, Memrise, and Babbel break lessons into short, manageable segments that you can complete at your own pace. For instance, right after your vocabulary review at 7 a.m., you might spend 20 minutes on Duolingo to practice new words interactively. These apps often include games and quizzes that make learning fun and engaging. 2. Educational websites. Websites such as BBC Learning English, VOA Learning English, and the British Council offer structured lessons on grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Visit these sites at a set time, say at 8 p.m., to review lessons or complete exercises. Many of these resources include videos, audio clips, and written explanations, so you can choose the format that suits you best. 3. YouTube channels. YouTube is filled with channels dedicated to teaching English. Channels like English with Lucy, BBC Learning English, and Learn English with Emma offer free lessons on a wide range of topics. Consider setting aside time on weekends, perhaps Saturday mornings at 10 a.m., to watch a series of instructional videos. This visual and auditory input can complement your other study methods. 4. Online communities and forums. Joining online communities can provide a supportive network of fellow learners. Platforms such as Reddit's Our English Learning, language exchange websites, and Facebook groups allow you to ask questions, share resources, and practice writing in English. For example, you might join an online forum where members meet virtually on Saturday afternoons at 2 p.m. to discuss their progress and exchange tips. Engaging with others can motivate you and provide valuable feedback on your learning journey. Integrating English into everyday life, one of the most effective ways to improve your English is to make it a natural part of your daily routine. Instead of confining your practice to a specific study session, look for opportunities to use English in everyday activities. Here are some practical suggestions. Labeling. Walk around your home and label common items in English. Stick a note on your refrigerator that says refrigerator, on your door, and so on. This constant visual reminder reinforces vocabulary effortlessly. For example, while preparing breakfast at 7:30 a.m., glance at the labels on kitchen items and say their names out loud. Thinking in English. Try to switch your internal dialogue to English. When you plan your day or make simple decisions, use English phrases. Instead of thinking, "Toi can wang sa fi," think, "I need to drink coffee." This habit will gradually reduce the time it takes for you to form sentences and help you become more fluent. Entertainment. Social media. Incorporate English into your leisure time. Watch movies or TV shows in English with subtitles at first, then try watching without them as your skills improve. Listen to English music and read the lyrics, or even follow an English recipe when cooking. For instance, during dinner at 7 p.m., you might watch a cooking show in English, learning new culinary vocabulary and conversational phrases in a relaxed setting. Follow English language pages on social media platforms like Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. Engage with posts by commenting in English or sharing your thoughts. This informal practice can help you learn contemporary expressions and slang that are often used in everyday conversation. By weaving English into your daily activities, you create an immersive learning environment that goes far beyond textbooks and formal lessons. Even if you only spend a few minutes here and there using English, those moments add up and make a significant difference over time. Progress tracking and feedback. Keeping track of your progress is essential for long-term success. Without regular feedback, it's hard to know if your efforts are paying off or which areas need improvement. One effective method is to maintain a daily or weekly journal. In your journal, record what you studied, new vocabulary learned, challenges encountered, and any breakthroughs you experienced. For example, every Sunday at 5 p.m., Set aside 15 minutes to review your journal entries from the past week. Note the improvements in your reading speed, writing clarity, or pronunciation. Another useful tool is to set small milestones with corresponding rewards. Perhaps you decide that after mastering 100 new words, you'll treat yourself to a book or a favorite snack. Celebrating small victories keeps your motivation high and reinforces the habit of continuous learning. If you have access to a teacher, language partner, or even a knowledgeable friend, ask them to review your work once in a while. Constructive criticism can be incredibly valuable. Whether it's feedback on your writing, pronunciation, or grammar, knowing where you need to improve is half the battle. Remember that mistakes are not failures but opportunities to learn and grow. Overcoming common challenges. No language learning journey is without obstacles. It's natural to encounter periods of frustration, especially when progress seems slow. One common challenge is the fear of making mistakes. Many learners worry that speaking imperfectly might lead to embarrassment. However, making mistakes is a crucial part of learning. Each error is an opportunity to learn something new. Embrace your mistakes, correct them, and move on. Remind yourself that even native speakers occasionally mispronounce words or use colloquial expressions incorrectly. Another challenge is finding the time to study consistently amid work, family, and other responsibilities. The key to overcoming this is a well-planned schedule. If you miss a session, don't be discouraged. Simply adjust your plan for the next day. Flexibility is important. For instance, if you plan to study at 10 a.m. but an unexpected task arose, reschedule that session to later in the day rather than skipping it entirely. It can also be challenging to stay motivated over the long term. When you hit a plateau or feel tired of the routine, take a break or try a new method of study. Variety can reignite your passion for learning. Perhaps one week you focus more on watching English movies and another week you participate in an online discussion forum. This change of pace can help keep boredom at bay and make the overall experience more enjoyable. Remember, every learner faces challenges. The key is persistence. Reflect on your progress regularly, celebrate your achievements, and adjust your strategies as needed. With time, you will overcome these obstacles and become more confident in your English skills. Maintaining motivation and consistency, staying motivated, is perhaps the most critical part of any self-driven study plan. One effective strategy is to break your overall goal into small, manageable tasks. Instead of saying, "I must become fluent in English," try setting daily or weekly targets, like, "I will learn 5 new words today," or "I will write a 200-word diary entry this evening." Achieving these smaller goals gives you a sense of accomplishment that propels you forward. Mix up your study routine to keep it interesting. Alternate between reading, writing, listening, and speaking activities. For example, on Mondays and Wednesdays, focus on grammar and writing exercises, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays, concentrate on listening and speaking practice. On weekends, you might dedicate longer sessions to reading and watching English media. This variety not only prevents monotony, but also ensures that you are strengthening all aspects of your language skills. Visual progress charts can be very helpful. Consider creating a calendar where you mark each day that you complete your English practice. Over time, seeing the growing number of marked days can boost your motivation. If you feel your progress slowing, take time to reflect on how far you've come. Even small improvements are a sign of progress. In addition, try to connect with other learners. Whether through online forums, language exchange meetups, or social media groups. Sharing your experiences and challenges with others can provide encouragement and new ideas. For instance, you might join an online community that meets every Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. to share tips and celebrate each other's successes. Building a network of supportive peers makes the learning process less solitary and more engaging. Remember that learning English is a marathon, not a sprint. Some days will be easier than others, and that's perfectly normal. If you ever feel discouraged, revisit your original motivations and goals. Reflect on the benefits that mastering English will bring to your life, and remind yourself that every bit of practice is a step in the right direction. Sample daily and weekly schedules. Having a detailed schedule can be a game changer when learning English at home. Here is an example of a daily schedule that integrates various study techniques and specific time markers. 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Begin your day with a vocabulary review. Use flashcards or an app to go over the new words you learned the previous day. 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. Label objects around your home and say their English names aloud. 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Listen to an English podcast or a short news segment while having breakfast. 9 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. Read an article from an English newspaper or a short story from a book. Write down any unfamiliar words and look up their meanings. 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Do a short writing exercise. Write a brief summary of the article you read or describe an object in your home using new vocabulary. 12 p.m. to 12:30 p.m. Engage in grammar exercises using an online resource or workbook. 3 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Listen to another English audio clip, perhaps a different podcast or a video clip, to expose yourself to various accents and speaking speeds. 4 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Practice speaking by reading a passage aloud. Optionally, record your voice and play it back to check for pronunciation improvements. 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Join an online conversation group or speak with a language partner via video call. 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Watch an English movie or TV show, focusing on understanding idiomatic expressions and colloquial language. 8 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Review the new vocabulary and phrases learned during the day by writing sentences or discussing them out loud. 9 p.m. Reflect on your day in your English journal. Note any challenges, improvements, or interesting expressions you encountered. For a weekly schedule, you can designate specific days for focused activities. For example, Monday and Wednesday evenings, focus on intensive grammar and writing exercises. Tuesday and Thursday evenings, dedicate time to speaking practice, either through language exchange or recording yourself. Friday, review the week's progress and update your learning goals. Saturday, spend extra time on reading and listening, and participate in a virtual discussion group at 2 p.m. Sunday, use the afternoon to relax with an English movie, and in the evening, review your progress for the week at 5 p.m. This structured schedule not only ensures that you practice all 4 language skills, but also helps you build a routine that can be maintained over the long term. Conclusion: improving your English at home is a journey that requires clear goals, a dedicated environment, and a consistent, well-structured routine. By setting specific, achievable targets and following a daily schedule, with precise time markers like 7 a.m. for vocabulary review, 9 a.m. for reading, and 3 p.m. for listening, you can gradually build proficiency in reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Remember that every new word you learn, every sentence you write, and every conversation you practice brings you one step closer to mastering the language. Embrace mistakes as natural parts of the learning process, and don't be discouraged by occasional setbacks. Instead, use them as opportunities to refine your approach and learn more effectively. By integrating English into your everyday life, whether by labeling household items, thinking in English, or watching your favorite TV shows in the language, you transform ordinary moments into valuable learning experiences. Supplement your study with free online resources, interactive apps, and supportive language communities. All these elements combine to create a rich, immersive learning environment right in the comfort of your own home. Tracking your progress through journals and visual charts, setting small milestones with rewards, and connecting with fellow learners will help you stay motivated and consistent. Over time, you will notice that these regular practices, no matter how small, have a significant cumulative effect on your proficiency. Ultimately, the journey to improving your English is as important as the destination. With persistence, a positive mindset, and a willingness to adapt your study plan, you'll find that the challenges you face are just stepping stones toward greater fluency and confidence. Embrace each day as a new opportunity to grow, and soon you will look back and marvel at how far you have come. Keep this guide as a reference and adjust your schedule as you progress. Remember, there is no single right way to learn English. What matters most is finding a routine that works for you and sticking with it. Happy learning, and here's to your success in mastering English from home.